One, I trained the team about this. It's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about the member.
And what are the challenges that the membership department is facing currently?
Right. So the membership and sales department biggest challenge right now has to be retention.
If you are president for a day,
Yeah.
which means it's only 8 hours, what would you do or what would you change in that 8 hours in the country? President of South Africa.
I'd say I can't say I'll change anything.
Yes. What would you do?
But what I would do is I think I would instill hope. Because I think that is the one thing that South Africans have lost is hope.
Especially the youth.
Especially youth. You are required to report CPD at the end of every year. Something that members, I don't know, they are not aware or they tend to do a lot is forget to report their CPD points. How does this affect you? Your certificate can be revoked, and with it being revoked means that you need to rewrite.
Welcome to INbrief, the podcast for the Institute of Internal Auditors, South Africa. My name is Matlhogonolo Matlaisane, also known as Tlohi. And today with me, I have Thabiso, the Membership and Sales Manager. Good day, sir.
Good day, Matlhogonolo. How are you?
I am well, and you?
I'm also good, thank you.
You can call me Tlohi.
Tlohi, great, awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
I will have first an icebreaker.
Okay.
Then we will get to your job.
Okay.
What is your get up and go song?
My get up and go song right now.
Right now.
Right now. Sure, that's a good
You
question.
can say Sister Bettina, it's okay.
I wish I could, but absolutely not. I am a gospel-orientated person. So I think at this point it has to be Xoli.
What song?
There's a song. Why is it now out of my mind? It's not gone. Ungukuphila.
Okay. What
That's
does it mean
go-to
for
song.
those that don't understand?
Ungukuphila, he is life, or he's our life.
Oh, wow.
Right? And for me, that's my get to go song. When I get in the car, the first song I play before I leave is that song.
You come across as the one that would love Beyonce, you know? To the left, to the left.
You know, I get that a lot, and people tend, and that's the thing. I only know the to the left and the my umbrella, and it ends there. I'm not a fan of Beyonce. Give me gospel anytime. Give me gospel anytime. Give me any gospel song right now. Give me any gospel artist. I'll definitely know the song. Throw me to Rihanna, Beyonce, and then
you are not feeling any dough.
I'm just like, yeah, okay. Yeah, so no.
If you are president for a day,
yeah,
which means it's only 8 hours, what would you do or what would you change in that 8 hours in the country? President of South Africa.
Sure, that's a lot. Sure, and there's a lot that's I'm gonna use the word, for lack of a better word, there's a lot that's broken. I think it was just to, I don't know if also how possible that is, but in the 8 hours I'd say I can't say I'll change anything.
Yes. What would you do?
But what I would do is I think I would instill hope. Because I think that is the one thing that South Africans have lost is hope.
Yes, especially the youth.
Especially youth. I think youth have lost hope in ever getting employed. They've lost hope in ever having a brighter future. They've lost hope in ever making it in life. So I think for me, for the 8 hours, my focus will be bringing in hope.
Okay, the elections are coming.
Yes.
I think you must be the president. Most interesting thing that you have learned recently?
The most interesting thing.
Remember that it can sound stupid to somebody, but it will be very interesting to you.
So the most interesting thing I've learned recently is that if the relationship is not beneficial to you or to the next person, then you get to see the real reason the friendship or the relationship was about. I think I've recently...
That's a mouthful.
I've recently just... that's the most interesting thing I've learned recently, that people are in friendships because of what they're benefiting. But once the benefits are off, everything is also gone.
What is the first thing you do in the morning?
The first thing I do in the morning, this is after I've opened my eyes.
Yes, like immediately open your eyes. What do you do? Do you open your laptop?
I actually pray. That's the first thing I do.
Let's take your check your phone.
No, I always pray. And yes, it's a very short prayer because I always say, "Oh no, thank you, thank you that I am alive," because I know there's someone who did not make it. So that's the first thing, and then the next thing is my phone.
You are very disciplined because people start with their phone.
That's why my prayer is short, so that I can get to the phone.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for life, and then I move on to my phone.
And now you are now the manager for the membership and sales.
Yes.
And congratulations.
Thank you
I know
so
you
much.
started as a team leader.
Yes.
And now you have progressed
Yeah.
as the manager of membership and sales.
Correct.
How is your day? What does your day look like?
Okay, so I think, the first thing my day looks like, I think, number one, making sure that my team is here. That's the first thing I need to look at. Is my team here?
Like physically?
Physically. So we are an 80% hybrid. So my team is at the office Monday to Thursday. Fridays we operate from home. So Monday to Thursday we are at the office. That's the first thing I need to do. Check if they're all here.
Okay.
Number two, we need to check our dashboard. This is where all our incoming applications are sitting.
Yes.
I need to make sure that is attended to. So I check where we are sitting, how many applications we've received, and I ensure that the team gets to work on that. We start to working on the actual payment allocations. As you know, as a membership, our main goal is to ensure that we get members to be in good standing or to be active. So we go back to the applications that we received. If payments were received, I need to make sure the team gets them allocated so we can get members active. And the most important thing in the morning that I do, I check my numbers. Where are we sitting with numbers? How many active members do we have? That's also something I report to my CEO. Try on a daily basis, just to always keep her updated as to where we're sitting with our active membership numbers. So that's what I do. Yeah.
So if I am not a member of the IIA SA, I want to join and become a member. How do I do it?
Simple. Go to your website, www.iiasa.org.za. You will click on membership. It has a drop down. And after drop down, the one option is join now. So you will click on the join now option. And right after that, you will start to create a username, a password, and then it starts to request for you to put in all your personal details down. So you want to put all the details that I requested. We will need a copy of your ID, copy of your CV. You attach those documents, and then you then submit to your application, which will then come through to our system on our site.
How long does it take for a member to get any contact, any response? Yes.
Okay. So for an application before I joined the IIA, actually, interestingly, before I joined the IIA, it took them 7 days.
7 working days or 7 days?
7 working days. So an application would take 7 working days for members to get feedback if there's documents that need to be followed up on, if there's something or information that needs to be clarified. But right now, after I joined the IIA, my biggest, I saw that as a flaw to say, I think we can better the process. And right now, I can guarantee that a member that applies with the IIA right now for their membership, they get response within 24 to 48 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a huge reduction.
That is.
Congratulations. I love that.
So you would get an email.
Yes.
The first thing we do is to send an email. So if there is an outstanding document or there is information, I think a lot of members tend to also make mistakes when they apply. So one of the mistakes is criminal offenses. We would ask members, have you had a criminal offense against you? A member would say yes. But that would have been something they probably said yes, but were not aware or probably not understanding the question. So the team has to call back. We need to call you back to understand what is the offense. And if there is an offense, then we'll rectify to a no, so your application can be processed. If it's a yes, then there are just steps to be followed after that.
Okay. Who is in your team What's your structure?
Okay.
And you are now the manager. What have you implemented in terms of the team structure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a structure currently that has 3 team leaders, and we've got 5 coordinators. At this moment, I think we are capacitating that with 2 more coordinators, which will now bring in a full team. The reason why I have 3 team leaders, we have 1 team leader that is our member liaison officer. That team leader to have function and the team. The team will consist of 3 more coordinators. Their main function is to deal with all the incoming calls and all the individual members. Right, so we've got members individually that call in to renew their membership on an individual capacity, and we've got a renewals and reinstatements team leader, herself, and the 2 coordinators are dealing with the group renewal. So we've got members that don't pay their memberships individually, but the organizations pay on their behalf. So the team engages with the organizations to ensure that members are renewed. So that process is conducted by the team leader and the coordinators. And we've got a team leader cell and 2 of the coordinators. So their role is sitting with the global certifications, what their goal or their main purpose of being in that role is to ensure that all members that show interest in writing their CIA or CRMA or the QA challenge exams that we have, their goal is to ensure that they get the members through the process. So to getting them to understand what the certification is about, getting them a quotation if possible, also getting them into the exam itself. Yeah.
You're talking about quotation.
Yes.
I see that. Does it mean that your job title says manager of membership and sales? So there's the sale.
That's the sales part of it. Yeah. So our certifications is the sales part of it. So our goal is, because this is something that I also implemented, as you were asking, when we came in. So certification, as much as it's an offering that we have internally, that we wanted to get to a point where we actually sell it out. So it's no longer about us saying, members will voluntarily come in and say, I want to write an examination. But what are we doing as the IISA to make sure that our members are aware of the offerings that we have, so the certifications that we have, and we then get to say, we not only will have members inquiring about what CIA means, but also we then follow up to ensure that we convert that I just want to know into actually paying to write that examination and attaining the certification, because it's also very important that we get our members to be certified as internal auditors.
So speaking about certification, I know it's in dollars because it's being administered by the IIA Global.
Yes.
What if I am an employee? My company doesn't pay in dollars; they pay in rands.
Yeah.
I would love the IISA to facilitate that whole payment. Do you have that facility?
Absolutely. I think that's what the sales department does.
Yes.
The sales department, what they do is, we had made it for our members to be able to access global. So what we do is, you would show interest. We on our system will the interest rate, interest exchange on the member's behalf, but we charge the member in rands. So your invoice as an employee or as an individual member that has an interest in writing CIA, invoice that we will send to you will be in rands, and you will pay in rands. We will pay the amount over to global, and as the institute, we take the cost of the exchange rate. So we make sure that our members be able to get that exam.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So since you've been a manager, what changes have you implemented?
Okay. So far there's quite a couple that I've implemented. Number one is being the application process. The application process, I've always said I have, and I always bring things to myself. So if I applied today and my application takes 7 working days
I would have changed my mind by then.
Exactly right. For me to get and in most cases, you need to think about this. I always think of money. The money might be there at the point that you apply, but anything can happen between today and next week. So if someone puts an application today, let's ensure that they get invoiced today so they can to be able to pay for the application fee to pay for their subscription fee, because at that point they are still eager, in wanting to become a member. But if we prolong the process to next week, what happens if Monday the person meets that amount for something else, But also it also shows it creates a great SLA, service level agreement. If we stick to 24 to 48 hours, the member already will love the fact that they managed to get response within a certain period of time, and that would really be great. So I think that is number one, making sure that we get applications to be done in a very quick and easy manner. Two, we have a help desk system that is in place. The system, everything. So before there was a membership box email address that was being worked on, but it was working from Outlook, and we now had a couple of complaints from members. We're either not responding on time, we either because of the number of the influx of emails we would get, and the mismanagement of that, people getting emails directly to themselves. In that manner, there's no way we can track whether you responded within the agreed time. So we then implemented a help desk system, which members can now get a hold of us on member.info@iia.org.za. That email comes directly into the help desk system, and we are able to monitor. One, we will allocate or task that email to the member that's relevant, to the team member that is relevant to answer accordingly. Then there is a tracking time, so you need one within 24 to 48 hours. It's not like getting back to the member and saying, I have completed your request and this is what you have requested. It's either saying, we are still working on 1, 2, 3, 4, kindly allow us this more time. Because it happens that sometimes members, you can't resolve a query on the very same time that you are able to treat it as an NFCR, where you go back at your member and say, I'm still working on it, please allow us some time. I think that's the thing that I've implemented in making sure that we better our member service.
So now, take yourself outside that position.
Yes.
Now you are Thabiso.
Okay.
You want to join IIA SA.
Okay.
What do you think you would change? Not as a manager,
as a member,
but as a member.
At this point, that's a very good question. That's challenging me.
Yes,
I see what you're saying, Chloe. I think you're challenging me. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think the application process so far, I don't think there's anything from a member perspective I would change, because if I apply and I get response within 24 to 48 hours, and I know what I do. I think the only thing that just came to mind now, which I think I just thought about it, is maybe the membership certificate. There needs to be a proper manner where we can, to direct members to how to get their certificates. This is because we get a lot of queries from members that really ask about how can I get my certificate, or can I get my certificate, and we always have to send it. But there is actually a proper way on the website to do it. It's just that it's not really advertised or marketed well to our members. So that's something also. So I think as a member, I would say, guys, is there no better way to make for me to get my membership certificate? So I think that's.
Now I asked also about Thabiso.
Yeah.
Who is Thabiso? What does Thabiso like? What are Thabiso's hobbies?
Okay. I sing a lot.
Gospel music?
I sing gospel music, yes. But Thabiso is an outspoken person, very, very outgoing. I don't think you can step on my foot and I'll let it go. I'll make you aware that you did.
Okay.
So I'm not those people that die inside. I doubt I ever will die inside.
Yes.
If I definitely will say. So I say my say. I say my say. I am very outspoken. I am direct if I can. But also I am a very softie.
Yeah.
I think people don't know this, but I actually am a very softie at heart. I take things very emotional at times. But I find something that brings me back all the time has to be singing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I sing everything. Like I could walk in and find that my team hit which is our recent numbers where we're sitting on right now, right? Which is like a milestone for the membership department as we speak. We are on 8,000.
Do you sing to your team?
I sing everywhere.
Okay.
So I would walk in and be like, okay, so I was saying, right, we have a milestone right now.
Yeah.
We are on 8,406 active paying members of the IISA.
Oh, wow.
This has not been for a couple of years. So this is quite a great achievement. Now I could just walk in and be like 8,400 and like, that's just me, because I always want to get my team
That means
to
money?
celebrate. That means money, but also it means it's saying to the team, we can see your work.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, as much we've been putting in the work, and this is so I'm kind of that. I believe in celebrating. So it doesn't matter how little it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how little, how much I have. If it's worth celebrating, I am the first to celebrate. At home, I'm like that. You come home with a driver's license, I will celebrate like it's a driver's. So you come with a driver's, we
little
celebrate.
things.
So little things. And I think that the reason why is because a bit of background is when I grew up, there were things that were never celebrated that I would have loved to be celebrated. And for me now, I had to teach myself that if I couldn't do it for that Thabiso, I can do it for this Thabiso. So yeah.
And I love that because myself, I'm also guilty of not celebrating
Small things. Yeah.
But 2024,
We
I
celebrate.
made a conscious decision that I will celebrate even waking up in the morning.
Correct.
So that's how
Yeah.
30 I have become.
Yes.
So I think that's a good habit.
It is.
So my next question now is on, you say you are very outspoken
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah.
Now you meet a member
Yeah.
in Sandton City.
Okay.
Like, okay, Thabiso, we saw you on the podcast. Please tell us the benefits of being a member.
Yes.
Convince me.
Why should I become a member of the
Yes.
IISA? Perfect. I think number one is the IISA, as we all know, the Institute of Internal Auditors South Africa is not a body on its own, but it's an
Yes.
affiliate of the IIA Global. So we are one of the thousands affiliates all over the country. So number one, you don't only get access to the IISA member platform or member SA platform, you get access to the IIA Global.
Yeah.
We give you LexisNexis for members that would like to better themselves in that. We also have a technical and soft skills program that we have. You get discounts on all our events. So we'll CP for CPD points. You gain CPD points for attending all of our events. So we discount our members. So we'd have fees for members and fees for non-members. So all of our member fees are discounted. We also, the other thing is we have a bookstore. So all the members would get access to our bookstore, which also offers discounted prices for our members. And last but not least, we also have a governance website where our members can then be able to go in to get all the updated governance information. So those are the benefits of just being a member. What our goal is with the benefits, and this is something we also were working with our COA, is we always will review which members will start to see, will review our benefits in saying, is it still relevant for our members now? You know, so something that we also added to our membership benefits is before, members used to pay for their IIA magazine access. But now that is free, right, to our members. So you don't need to pay separately for that. But that is free for our members. The reason is because we want our members to be updated with all that is necessary for their career growth and also individual goals. So as I was saying, we will be looking into our benefits. What we want to achieve is our benefits needs to be relevant to members for the now. You know, there are benefits that were relevant back in 2005, but now when you look at that as being a benefit today, it might just not work. So something that we are looking at is always making sure that our benefits are something our members can actively also participate and gain from. Yeah.
What, still on members?
Yeah.
What type of membership do you have, or do you have same membership status across board, same benefits?
So our members get the same benefits, but they are then designated differently. So we have different types of memberships. We've got a fellow member. This would be a member that has gained either a local or a global designation with the IIA. So this is a member that has a CIA or a PIA or an IIT. That will be a fellow member. And we have a graduate member. This is a member that has 3 consecutive years in internal audit as a profession. So they've been working in the internal auditing space for 3 consecutive years or more. That will be a member that is a graduate. And then we have an associate member. An associate member is a member that is not really in the internal audit space, but in the finance space, or they would like to be, and they want to be associated with the profession or with the body. So that's the type of membership we have. And then we would have your retired members, your affiliate members, and then we have this big member type that we are currently just on a roadshow trying to promote, and this is the student membership. So we initially had we've always had the student membership, but it was highly discounted. Students were paying around about 526 rands a year. However, we went back and because we want to not just, I think we're getting to a point where we want to be as visible as possible.
True.
And that visibility, we've linked it and decided, let us offer our students a free membership. We then rebranded it and we called it Siyakhula student membership.
What does Siyakhula mean?
Siyakhula means we are a growth, right? Okay. So what we want is for our members to grow, or our students to grow in their profession, in understanding who the IIA is. We want them also to not only grow in understanding what the IIA is, but also possibly grow into having a career in internal auditing. So that's what we're currently doing. So we currently going to varsities, engaging with varsities, and we get there to sell the Siyakhula student membership. I just need to say a bit that we started the program last year in September. We launched it around October, November, and as we sit today, we have 244 active student members. So that is great. We have a conference also coming up. We will be creating also webinars for them that are relevant to them as students. So yeah, those are the member types we have.
So I know it's highly impossible to be going across all universities at the same time.
Absolutely.
Because you also have renewals coming up. But how do you make sure that a student at Rhodes University, for example, that you have not contacted knows about Siyakhula?
About Siyakhula.
Yes.
Great. So what we're doing is we are currently engaging with governors. So we have governors in all our regions, and for all our regions, we have a governor and their committee. What we are doing is engaging with our regional governors and their committees to say, this is what we are offering, and yes, we might not be able to make it to the Free State or wherever the varsity may be at, but we have a team locally in that area that is able to engage with the varsity deans and anyone rather in the varsity to be able to go there and represent the IIA. So during the open days, we try to get a slot there. We even make sure that the regional governors get into the varsities and engage. So at times I am unable to be there, but definitely our regional governors are making sure, and they're really excited about this. And I think one thing for me is anything that has to be free always excites students, and that's why we really want to make sure that every student that is in the internal auditing space or aspires even to have their CIA and all that get to be in this membership, and they enjoy the benefits, because they almost get the same benefits as a full member. We just to prepare them into becoming a full member of the IISA.
Wow, that's a mouthful. I love the fact that you are going for students too, because they are very much unaware. But then a student, first thing that comes to their mind, it's jobs.
Yes.
Now, how do the Institute is not about offering jobs, right? It's supporting the internal audit profession.
Yes.
Now, how do you articulate this to the students and telling them that
the chances of getting a job are less.
And this is South Africa. The unemployment rate is very low. So how do you position yourself also and support them also in being prepared for a job?
Great question. I think we are working on something. We have a program that is going to be a graduate program. It's going to be called Siyafunda. This is a program that we're currently working on, trying to get it in a way that it will save our graduate students. And the reason why we are now pushing Siyakhula, we want to have this pool of students so that when we start the program, we already have a pool of students. Ideally, what we would like to do is to have the big firms, have a relationship with them, and they could come in and from the pool that we have of students, be able to pick from them, from the graduates. So that's what we are trying to work on. So when we go to universities and the student post such questions, we always tell them of the program that we're currently working on that is still coming up. However, also what we are trying to do also individually is to engage with all the people that we have on our data that we know that they tend to get interns, and we say to them, actually, we have this program, it's called Self-Kula, and most of the students here will be graduating in a year or two. So maybe if you are looking at the program, obviously POPIA does not allow us to share information, but we are working on a plan that would be able to serve the students and the profession, because it's also not only about the students going to get a job, but it's also about growing the profession.
What is the definition of that student? Remember, a first year is also a student, a final year, undergraduate, postgrad is also a student.
It's also a student.
So what is the student? I can be studying at the university with my years of experience, and I also considered as a student.
Yeah. Okay. So the criteria there is you need to be a student, a full-time or part-time student with no work experience.
Okay.
So this
I was going to take advantage and submit my registration.
We actually have, you would be shocked. We got a couple of applications, so we were just like, but we like, no. But we got a couple of that.
I know her.
Yeah. You find someone who's a manager in internal auditing, but because they're studying, they just have the word free student membership and then they start. But the criteria is simple. You need to be a full-time or part-time student that is studying towards a first degree. This has to be your first degree, by the way.
Okay.
You can't be doing
an honors.
No, you can. If you're doing an honors, what we do. We go check. It's important that we request for CVs. Then we check if you don't have any work experience. The most important thing that breaks the full member and the student is work experience. So if I'm studying in my first year and I'm studying part-time, but I'm not doing anything, then you qualify to be a student. But if you are working, but also the work, So let me break it down.
Yes,
and I'll break
down the work experience
so that I'm thinking I can make sense.
Internal audit experience, or I am 40. I do internal audit, become internal audit. Then I can be considered a student because I don't have internal audit work experience.
Who is a student? Can we consider a 40-year-old as a student? Because this is like a youth program.
Okay.
Right. So I think already there's an age restriction to 35.
Yes, under 35 years.
So because the youth, it's made for youth. So we already have an age restriction, which is 35. Number 2, let's break down the no work experience.
Yes.
So I am a Thabiso who works at Pep Store as a teller, and I am is it a teller, right?
Yes.
And I'm studying
part-time
through UNISA to attain my become accounting. You are definitely become internal audit rather. Then you're definitely a student. Okay. You qualify for a student as long as you're under the age of 35. You definitely qualify because this person, the experience they're gaining is not relevant to what they are studying. But if I am a Thabiso who's 28 years old and I'm an intern in finance studying, then you definitely don't qualify as a student.
And it's important to define that so that this is an opportunity to define that so that you also decrease the applications that we receive.
So we are receiving much, but once we do, then we'll revert back to members and say this is actually the criteria. But I think we'll break down the criteria also on our social platforms just to make sure that people, when they apply, they actually understand. Yeah.
Now we've talked about all the good things.
Yes.
I am going to be stepping on your toes, but you need to be very honest with me.
I did say that when you step on my toes, I will say.
Please do. What are the common complaints about your department?
Now you are stepping on my toes. Okay, number 1, I think it's always feedback. It's always they don't respond. And I think we had that for last year, a lot of members of us not responding to members. And I think not giving an excuse, but we had a capacity issue at the point where the membership and sales department did not really have, I think we had literally 4 people in that department at that particular time, and we are serving over 7,000 members. So definitely there will be those delayed responses or no responses at all.
Yeah.
And hence the solution right now is we have a full capacitated team. 2, we have a help desk system that is able to help us monitor all the queries coming through. So yeah, the biggest complaint was no response.
And what are the challenges that the membership department is facing currently?
Right. So the membership and sales department biggest challenge right now has to be retention. Right?
I didn't think about it.
Retention. So it's exciting to get members.
Yes.
It's very exciting to get 1,500 new applications for the year. But the excitement ends when the financial year end comes. So the 31st of May, all these people will have expired their membership. Now the goal is to make sure in the next financial year, the members come back and renew their membership. And that most often is the biggest challenge. Members sometimes are paid by their organizations.
Yeah.
And once they leave from one organization to the other, the organization does not okay their costs for being a member of the IIA, and therefore they need to pay it themselves. They don't have the money to do that. Some you get an individual member that only applied because they were starting a career and they thought, okay, I need to be a member of the IIA. But once they get the job, they don't follow up. So I think retention is our biggest struggle, but it's something that we're trying all the campaigns. We have an SMS campaign, we've got an email campaign, we've got a telephonic campaign. We really try spread out. I think that by the end of this year, close to the end of this year, the members will be seeing us on ground. So we will be going into organizations. We think it's time we start going into next year, going into your every organization that can allow us to be on the floor. And we don't want to do anything. We get to there, we will request an office if possible. We'll put our banners around the offices and we sit in that particular room and we are there to service the members. So we're thinking that could also be a great platform for us to get members to renew their membership.
Maybe this is your opportunity now to give us the contact details of the membership department. So the email and telephone. Some people don't like writing. They like to call.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you like to call and talk like me, definitely 011-450-1040. The number again is 011-450-1040. And if you like to type, it's member.info@iiasa.org.za. member.info@iiasa.org.za. And we definitely are available Monday to Friday, 9 to 3 p.m.
So Monday to Friday, 9
a.m.
to 3.
to 3 p.m. Definitely will be okay to assist.
So Matlhogonolo comes through
Yes.
that door in Bedford View.
Yes.
Furious. Because you have not captured their membership payment.
Yeah.
Or as easy as you have not captured the application.
Yes.
I'm impatient. I need this IIA membership number.
Or certificate even.
Or just to get a job.
Yes.
I've been promised a job and they said, you need to be a member of the IIA. How do you handle it? I'm very furious.
I think number one, this is what I always train the team about is one, I train the team about this. It's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about the member. So if the member is furious, you need to, one, listen. So we put yourself in their shoes, understand the frustration. So, but let me give you just a picture of what we do.
Yes.
If a member comes in frustrated, they will walk into our reception and they will definitely call someone from our side. We'll get the team, we'll allocate them in a particular boardroom and we get them water. We'll offer you water or coffee. Yeah,
I thought you offered your workers.
Let's stick to water and a cup of coffee if possible, and we'll get someone to come there. Make sure that you get into the member's shoes, understand the frustration, but most importantly, get to the solution. So because we have our team around at the office and we have a full office on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, if it's a payment issue, as the face and the brand of the IIA, because I'll always emphasize this, that the membership and sales department is the front end or the face or the first interaction of the IISA. So therefore it's important, however way we respond, the member will then deem the organization to be like that. So one, if it is a membership related query and you quickly need to get the membership certificate, and the payment is not allocated.
Yes.
One, we run upstairs, go to finance. Let's get finance to allocate the payment. Let's identify the payment, get it allocated, come back, retrieve the certificate. If you have to print it out. But make sure that by the time you go back to the member, you have resolved the query entirely. And also, I would say, the empathy needs to be applied.
Yes.
Also need to apologize. And I always step in as the manager, especially when someone is angry or furious or irate. I would let the member, the teammate that's dealing with it, to deal with the query. But at the end, I will go in and just to, put some touch to it and apologize on behalf of the organization and offer any further assistance if possible. And let me tell you something. The most irate members are actually the greatest members, because they are not only demanding the service, but they're demanding it because they know that we are capable of offering it. Yeah.
And I like the fact that you are aware that you are the first point of contact in this institute.
Absolutely.
So I'm coming through, I hear about the IIA SA from any conference, because you have mentioned that it's affiliated with other institutes.
Yes.
Then I come in, become a member, a graduate member, right?
Yes. Yes.
Then I'm interested in this whole certification part.
Yes.
Because I want to upgrade my qualifications. I want to be a CIA. I want to be a CRMA.
CRMA, yeah.
Yes, I want to write I'm a CISA.
Challenge
I
exam.
will do the CISA challenge exam to become a CIA. How do you actually assist such a member? For considering that there is also global.
Yes.
And how does such a member become certified?
Okay, perfect. So the member, as I said, it's a global certificate. So we do not do the actual issue a certificate, but we help the member through the process. That's something that we own up to. So number one, giving the member the information required.
What is the information required?
So the member would need to fill in an application form, which that application form is kept online. Which that
I thought it's a form that you have to complete.
No. We've done away with paper.
Oh,
we
thank
can
God.
never do paper
Thank
ever
God.
again. So member goes on our website, under certifications, there's where it says application, or apply for CI, or apply for the QAB or challenge exam. So they would apply for that online. It will put you on our site, and we are then going to start communicating with you. With CIA, we always issue out a quotation, and this is our standard process, that a quotation is first issued, because the fees members would see are in dollars, and we are converting them into rands when we send it to the member. So we would send a quotation for us to get a go-ahead from the member, and if the member does then give us a go-ahead, we would invoice on our IIA platform. So in rands, right? So we would in rands and then send it to the member. We will then go on our website, IIA Global website, to purchase the programs. We'll purchase the program that you have required as a member. The package will be sent to you, and then the member will then be get an email package with everything. So the study material, everything that you need to do will be within that email, with all the details, that when you will write the examination, all of that information. And what we will do then is we will, one, communicate with you to check if you have received it, if you are happy with everything on our site. And once then you've done, let's say you've written your examination and you are done and you've attained now your certification, and you are now not just Matlhogonolo, but you're Matlhogonolo CIA.
Yes.
Right? So what we are going to do, one, we have recreated this platform where we acknowledge our members. So we go to our website. We'll congratulate you as the IISA, request your consent to share your picture and your achievement, and we share achievement on our website. So we'll post on our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn profile, have it on our website also, where you can go, we say, these are the members that have achieved these designations. And also, secondly, you get upgraded. So you get upgraded from just being a graduate member into a fellow member, meaning that your certificate will now also change from a graduate member color into a fellow member color. So now you move from just being the ordinary member. I'll use the word ordinary member.
Not that you're ordinary,
but you just now move into the highest level of member type, which is the fellow member. And also, let me add this
Yes,
to
please.
that. Very important. Once you've attained your CIA designation, you are required to report CPD at the end of every year. So December or September, you will start getting notification from Global. The IIA also communicates to members to say you need to report your CPD. And how do you gain your CPD is also the first question. So throughout the year, we'll have events, webinars, or online roadshows when if you attend or when you are AGMs, when you attend, you gain CPD points. So you need to report all your CPD points. And at the end of the year, you need to have 40 hours of the CPD point in order for you to attain or maintain your designation.
Okay.
Right? Something that members, I don't know, they are not aware or they tend to do a lot is forget to report their CPD points. How does this affect you? Your certificate can be revoked, and with it being revoked means that you need to rewrite. But this only happens.
Can't you justify and say, I'm sure you're not gonna say I've forgotten.
No.
But some
Yeah. So the ethics or the bylaws or the rules behind that, before you write the examinations, you go through a document that you accept, where you say that yes, I will report my CPD points every year by the 31st of the every year. So if you do not report for 3 consecutive years, the IIA Global has the right to revoke your...
Revoking means
you take
you
away.
have to
rewrite.
So you can't justify.
You can't now use CIA. You can't be Thabiso Moitoi CIA. And if you do continue while it's revoked, the IISA can lay a charge against you for that. Even the IIA Global can lay a charge against you because your status is revoked.
Now, you are the sales manager.
Yes.
Convince me as a CEO
Yes.
not to appoint a CA, but a CIA for the chief audit executive position.
So you have a chief audit executive role.
Yes.
And you want me to convince you to?
So you have a vacancy here for the chief audit executive,
Correct.
which is the head of internal audit. Now the CEO says, I have a CA, chartered accountant. I have CIA, certified internal auditor. I know, let's also make it clear that the IIA is not only offering the CIA.
Yes.
But CIA is the core.
Is the main.
It's the main. So if you have 2 candidates, CA, chartered accountant, certified internal auditor.
I think that's
now they
easy.
come to you and say,
Convince
me which
that
one to appoint.
Very easy.
Convince me, say.
That is very easy. Why? Let me start here. Why would you take a chartered accountant and put as a chief audit executive, whereas you have a certified internal auditor? This is not just a member or an internal auditor.
Yes.
Right.
Because
this is not, yes.
To me, as a CEO, remember, I've never practiced internal audit.
Yes.
For me, it's just some certification next to my surname.
But the most popular one is the CA.
Popular one is the CA.
Yeah.
Now convince me.
Yeah. So I always say this. The CA is the most famous, and I'm going to use the word famous in South Africa.
Yes.
Right. Chartered accountants.
Yes.
But it's speaking to what field? It's speaking to accountants.
Okay.
Right. And you've got CIA, which has not really been as famous within South Africa, but within the internal audit profession, it is the most important certificate to have. Now, the convincing part, I don't think it's necessary. It's a matter of, do you want someone who understands the ethics and cause and beliefs of an internal auditor, someone who are not only do they know them, but they went through certain examinations to be able to be called a certified internal auditor? Or do you want a chartered accountant?
Okay, you have convinced me.
Because you need to understand that we are not, our brand or what we are doing as the IISA is to look after the profession. Looking after the profession is not only saying we want members to become active members of the IIA. It's beyond that. Our aim and goal is to ensure that we take an internal auditor from just saying I'm an internal auditor, but to being someone that in the career line they can be someone that any CEO can depend on. That's what we want. We want to raise internal auditors that CEOs can trust. Internal auditors that in the profession, they are not just there because they are working, but we upskill them, we give them all the professional development where possible to ensure that they are fit enough to be in those roles.
Now, you talked about fame. One qualification
Yes.
being famous than the other.
Yeah.
That means that if you talk about audit, what will come to mind is fame.
Yeah.
We all know that if you mention a celebrity name, it will
Link to something.
link to, and that's what CA is.
Yes.
Now, how do you as a manager, not as the institute,
Yes.
how do you as a manager for sales? Yes, you are manager for membership, but you have this link
sales.
called sales. How do you make organizations aware of the benefits of a CIA? You talked about how the CIAs have understanding of internal audit, and they have understanding for, you would underestimate like something like a standard, the global standard.
Yes.
But the person who will be aware of what is in the standard is the person
Is someone who's done
internal audit, who's done the CIA. How do you make the market aware? How do you make CIA famous?
One, it starts at the top and not at the bottom. And I think that's the mistake. Sure, I hope I say this correct, but I think that's the mistake that has happened for quite some time, where it's us, the internal auditors at the bottom, that are so excited about attaining CIA, but the exec is not really understanding why. So it's teaching our execs.
Yeah.
So it's doing leadership programs or leadership discussion workshops where we bring in leaders and we say, it's not only important for your members, for your employees to be members of the IIA, but it's important also for them to attain this qualification, and these are the benefits of it. So workshops is important. Leaders workshops are important. We've got chief audit executives that have attained their CIA, probably CRMA and all of that, and it's only them in the whole organization.
Yes.
But now we need to then teach them that it's not only about, because I think also the misconception here is that once I get to be a manager, then I can write my CIA.
Yeah.
But it's not really about the position. That's just about how far do you want to see yourself as an internal auditor. So let's do workshops. I think doing workshops with company leaders, with executives, to say, this is the most important thing that we need to do. And who do we take also to address the leaders? And I don't think it will make more sense when it's me speaking. But if you take our leaders, our leaders like our board, our CEO, some of our active, because we've got active head of internal auditors within the IISA, take those and go and create those workshops, whether it's online, whether it's face-to-face, where we get leaders really understanding the importance of having their staff having the designation.
And I believe that our leader, Aline, will actually make sure of that.
Absolutely.
Because there's that whole confusion. But thank you very much for sitting with me.
It's a pleasure.
Let's wrap up with some questions.
Okay. Let's go.
I know we started with icebreakers.
Yes.
We've broken the ice.
Yes.
Now we are wrapping up.
Yeah.
If you have to be on lockdown with somebody famous, who would it be? What would you say to them?
Someone famous. So we are locked down.
Locked down, like that 21 days, same house.
Yeah.
But they're famous. So it shouldn't be your mother, no.
She's not famous.
No. I'll hear you.
That's a very tough question. And I'm trying to think, who can I bring in? So this person has to be famous, and also, what would I say to them?
Yes.
Riva Kamalobe.
You are Jesus' child.
Let me tell you why.
Like, you are Jesus' child.
I thought of anyone and I'm not getting anyone, but I'm getting Rebecca Malapile. And I'll tell you why. I think I will just thank her.
Okay.
I'll thank her for holding our parents through the difficult times back in the days through her music. I think that's it for me.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think I will do that.
What's the quote or verse that you live by? Let's go to verse and then quote. Then we'll wrap up.
Okay, the verse I live by: he who has started the good work in me will see to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I that's my go-to scripture or verse. And then what's my quote?
Do you read books?
I do read books. I'm currently reading a book, Sylvester's book. I forgot the name. What something to bear. Anyway,
Yeah.
quote is it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late to start now. It's never too late. It doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter where, how, and when.
True.
Yeah, it's never too late.
I love that. It's never too late. And what is, we talked about being the president.
Yes.
If you were the CEO of IIA, you are a lead now for a day. So you are acting CEO
For the day.
for the day.
Yeah.
Give a speech to your staff members.
I should give a speech now.
Yes, look at the camera.
Aline's gonna fire me because wow, I am just about to do my best.
Do your best. Do your best.
I think speech to the staff right now is it does look a bit sketchy. Looks like we don't know what we're doing, but actually there's progress. So I just want to assure everyone that actually we are doing great. And as sketchy as it may look, the results will be great. Everyone just has to do the best in their position. And trust me, we will make it.
You have given me as a staff member some hope.
Right?
Yes.
Aline must be shaking now.
She's shaking in her boots, thinking that you will be the next CEO. Actually, not the next. You will be the CEO on Monday. I'm being appointed by the board members. But I love that. And I like the fact that you recognize that it's shaky.
Yeah.
Remember when there is also a new person that is joining?
Absolutely.
It will always be seen as shaky because there's change.
There's change.
And the change, we don't receive change the same way.
Definitely. We receive
But yes, I love the fact that the CEO and the institute is now visible.
Yes. Very important. I think
Very, very important.
I think change is not received well.
Yeah, and change is not a bad thing.
But it's also not a bad thing, and it's received in very different ways. But for me, I always say for me personally, I don't mind change, right?
Yeah.
As long as the change is not there to harm anyone. Because there's good change and there's bad change.
Yes. And
I can say this, that the current change at the IISA is good change. You know, I was looking at also our values that we have that speak to the excellence in what we do, and I think that's the normal process. You know, in everything that people do, there needs to be excellence. Integrity and respect is one of our values, and ownership and collaboration is one of our values. So the change brought all of that. You know, us as staff being able to take ownership as the organization and collaboration in everything I do.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
I enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed myself. So.
I am glad that you enjoyed yourself. And we have given the members your contact details.
Yes.
How to contact you.
Yes, absolutely.
And I can say you are accessible. So I'm telling the members now that you are very accessissible.
Yes.
And they can actually recruit other members.
Absolutely. That members can start into the 24 hours. We are definitely going to respond.
Yes. I'd like to say thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting with me. This was a conversation with our sales manager and membership. What is coming up in the IIA? We have a public sector forum, which is hybrid. It's taking place on the 9th and 10th of May of this year, which is in Emperor's Palace. Also, we have our conference, the national conference, that is taking place on the 12th to the 14th of August. It's going to be in Sandton Convention Center. It's also hybrid. And I would like to say thank you for joining us. Goodbye.